Hello there everyone and welcome to the Educator's Rule Layering Guide video. So first up I'm going to start with the base layer of the apple, and for this one here I am going to be using the blush ink. So you're going to want to use the lightest ink that you do have to stamp this base layer. So once that's done, I'm then going to move on to the second layer, and I'm lining up the outside edge as well as that little gap that we have at the top for the little stem or stalk. For this layer, I will be using the rouge ink for this one. So again, I'm just going to pop that into place and stamp that down. I'm then going to take the third layer. Again, I'm lining up that outside edge and as well as that little gap that we have at the top for the stalk. For this layer, I will be using the crimson ink, and I'm just going to stamp that one into place. So once that one's done, I'm then going to move on to the fourth layer. For this one, I'm going to line up the left hand edge as well as the bottom. So for this layer here, I will be using the velvet ink. So this is going to be the darkest of the inks for the little apple here. Once that's done, I'm going to move on to the stem. For the first part of the stem, I'm going to be using the Rocky Shore ink, and I'm just going to place that into position on that little gap that we have. We also have a little tip to the little stalk, and for this one, I'll be using the marker and just stamping that at the edge of the stalk piece. I'm then going to move on to the pencil. For the first layer of the pencil, I will be using the Citrus Burst ink, so I'm just going to stamp that into place. For the second layer, it's going to line up along the top and the bottom edge of the pencil, so the one that we've just stamped. And for this layer, I will be using the Maple Yellow ink for this one. So I'm just going to pop that into place and then stamp that down. Once that has been stamped, I'm going to move on to the tip of the pencil. I'm using Rocky Shore for this one. I'm just going to nestle that in along the zigzagged edge of the pencil. This one does have a shading layer, so I'm going to use marker just to pop that in again along that zigzagged edge of the pencil. I'm going to then add the little tip, just using some of the industrial diamond. I'm then going to move on to the little metal piece of the pencil. For the first layer, I'm going to be using the Silverstone ink, and this is just going to kind of line up within the edge of that pencil, just kind of cup the edge of it, and then add the shading to this. And for this one, I am going to be using the industrial diamond, and that just goes directly over the one that we've just stamped. I'm then going to add the eraser to the end of the pencil, and for the first layer I'm going to be using the blush ink, just lining that up right at the edge, and then for the shadow element of this one I am going to be using the rouge. And that is all the layering complete. We really do hope this video helps. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again really soon. Bye bye!